Okay, so should I wait a few more seconds? I can see that somebody is joining. Eric, please give me the green light when I can start.
Yes, I think I think this person is having some connection issues, but then now is they're recording live.
Okay, so we're already recording. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Big pleasure to be here in order to introduce a very interesting special issue that is happening at the International Journal of Managing Project in Business. My name is Francesco Di Maddaloni, and I am the editor-in-chief of the journal. And today I have the pleasure to have a wonderful team with me that will explain the steps and the expectation about this call for paper. The call for paper, as you can see from the screen, is advancing project management through data science, method, application, and impact. Before giving the space to the guest editor team, I would like to introduce a little bit more the journal. So what the expectation of the journals are, what we are going to look at when we evaluate the submission that we receive, and basically to understand the aim and scope of the journal. As you can see, the journal is a healthy journal. The impact factor growth from 3.2 to 3.7. And the site score also had a jump from 6.9 to 7.2. The acceptance rate in the last years are around 14%. And something that is really important is the first decision from when the paper is submitted to when it's evaluated is around 35 days. So it's pretty much a quick process of decision, which makes things moving very fast. Managing project in business position itself as a bridge between academia and project management practice by publishing articles grounded in rigorous practice-informed research that, of course, aims to deliver actionable insight with the aim of advancing the methods, the profession, and theory. So this has been basically the recent shift of the journal towards more practical implication rather than theoretical development. Of course, theory must be there in order to inform then practice and how the work itself has informed new project management insight. We promote all the understanding of project management. We encourage multidisciplinary approach rooted in social science. And something that is very, very important to understand is that we are not interested in over technical papers based on modeling, algorithms, and applied mathematics. As you can see, the new editorial team includes different members, and I'm co-editing with Natalie Drouin and Linjo Carl, that is also here as a guest editor, Tuomas Shaola, and most recently also Marina Bondebos joined the team. What is really important is to understand that we are growing fast, and as I mentioned, the impact factor grew to 3.7, and this is a healthy, constant growth trend that the journal is recording. We are ranked in the main rankings worldwide, and this is why publishing with us makes a sign of quality towards the publishing environment. So the ranking of the journal is quite established. We try to improve the rankings in the next few years as well. There is strategy in place, but at the moment we are present everywhere in the most prestigious ranking. As you can see from the slide, the number of submission has increased around 75% in the last 2 years. So we have more submission flowing in. Of course, this leads to also more rejection. And this is something that you can see the trend of 2025 last year. We had an acceptance rate of 12%. As you can see, at this point of time, 38 papers have been accepted already, and we received, this is the data from yesterday, 367 submissions. So this is a very healthy trend, but as you can see, we always have a solid peer review process in order to enhance the quality of the submission and to publish only what we believe is a high standard scientific contribution. What is really important is the publication time, as I said. The time to first decision takes on average 35 days. The acceptance to publication is around 39 days. And overall, to publish in our journal takes on average between 7 to 8 to 9 months. Can go over a year. It really depends on how tough or long the review process is. Something that is really important is that there is no publication charge for our journal. Know that some journal out there, they charge authors for publishing, and this is something that is not happening and never happened in managing project in business. Very quick, we have new manuscript types that complements the standard research paper based on empirical or theoretical research. We also have prospective series, which are basically short, thought-provoking opinion piece written by invited authors. And we have Crossroads. Crossroads something extremely important. I will believe that we fulfill an important space in the market because it's a phenomenon-driven type of paper where both practitioner and academic write together in order to provide critical practical implication for the profession. So very practical focus type of paper in which theory and practice is bridged together by having this co-authorship from someone in the industry and someone from academia. 3 simple rules for prospective authors that want to publish with us. The first important rule, of course, is to read the aim and scope of the journal. Many of the rejection that you have seen in previous slide are because the paper is not about project or project management at all. So we want to contribute to project studies, in general term. And some of the rejection are due and are the reason for them is because they have nothing to do with project or project management. And this is one of the reasons for rejection. Another reason, of course, is because the paper is very weak. There is not enough material to be evaluated or to bring the paper into publishable standard. For that reason, in order for the prospective author to understand what is really needed, please read the aim and scope of the journal. Rule number 2, read the author's guideline. Sometimes papers are rejected because they don't follow the structure that is recommended by the journal, and this leads, of course, to a poor paper. Another important rule is to read published articles in the same journal. If you want to publish in Managing Project in Business, please, before submission, refer your work, build your work in a similar topic published in the journal. So you can see what the latest debate is. You can see how the expectation for the published article actually is, and how the published article actually has been published. So you can follow the same structure and you can actually build upon that. One of the last slide, so what kind of papers we want in Managing Project in Business? Of course, this is very links very much with the special issue that we have. We want rigorous practice-informed research, of course, that will advance somehow the methods in the profession, grounded towards theory, theoretical perspective that will then emphasize the advancement of the profession. We want ambitious ideas with rigorous research, out-of-the-box thinking, that develops concept theories, robust, transparent research design. So sometimes papers are rejected because there is no transparency in the way that data is collected, in the way the data has been analyzed, how you move from raw data to interpretation. So make sure that the research design fits your research question and actually provides all the transparent process that is needed for evaluation. Engagement and contribution for project scholarship. This is something really important. Who is your audience? Every time when you start writing an article, you need to ask to who this article is targeting. So who is your target audience? And this is exactly what you need to build your literature from. And our audience as from the core aim of the journal is towards enhancing the practical contribution and theoretical perspective of project management. So you must contribute to project management literature. Relevance and rigor. This is what our journal builds on. So relevance, something that needs to be researched and needs attention, and of course, which clear practical implication, a rigorous process of research which leads to a clear problem statement, a clear research question, a clear methodology session, a clear analysis of the data, and of course, a clear discussion which highlights the contribution of the work. Follow us in many different ways. LinkedIn is always there to find out the latest news about the journal. If you are based in China, we also have a WeChat channel. So I really recommend you to follow the journal for being updated on the latest development, not only on new call for papers, but everything that is around the journal, which spans over research development activities, promotional events, and of course, the latest published article that can inform your research. Thank you very much for this. Now it's time for me to stop sharing the screen and give the ball to Carl, which will actually talk about this specific special issue. Thank you very much for attention, and Carl, please go ahead. You're on mute, Carl. Carl, you're on mute.
I need to first unmute myself. Now I can share again. Okay.
Yes.
So have patience with me. I'm technology disadvantaged. Okay, welcome everyone. So this is a very important special issue. With me is Ishwe from Leeds, Andreas from Vienna, and Yin from Sydney. So they are my partners in crime on this special issue. So what do we expect from special issues? And I think, first of all, it's very much about novelty. We need to research something new, and I think this special issue speaks directly to that about data science. We've seen previous special issues in other project management journals talking about AI, but this is a very first one about data science. So I think it's very novel, and we really appreciate the interest in this special issue. Then it's also about advancing theory, and I think Francesco also spoke about it regarding the aim of the journal itself. But then, apart from the novelty, there also needs to be some societal relevance. Why are we doing this research? What is your research? How's it affecting the society at the end? And then also the interest, the breadth of interest. We've seen that some of the papers that we had so far are very narrow, specific countries. Nothing wrong with that, but sometimes we want you to then extrapolate some of your results to see if it doesn't fit other industries, other countries. If you do something, for instance, in Africa, how does it relate to other developing continents and things like that? And then also some conceptual coherence. There must be a golden thread throughout your paper. And I think that's applicable to all kind of papers. But at the end of the day, is the story that you tell must make sense, especially in this special issue where data science might be a foreign concept to some readers of the papers. So we're going to quickly talk about the rationale, the novelty, the themes, positioning, and submission. Andreas will take over some of the slides from me. So Andreas, if I got too excited, please stop me and say, hey, it's my turn, okay? So why this special issue? And I think the reason for that is the big issue about AI and big data. These two phenomenons are with us now, and it's got a huge impact on project management. There's a lot of research already on AI, but on the data science, the big data side, there's still not enough. The research is very much in the IT, computer science kind of journals, but the data itself has got an impact on project management. So I think it's the two things. It's about the contextual shift, the academic gap, and the practical urgency at the end of the day. From a contextual shift, it's very much about this data-rich and technology-driven environments. And project managers or project people, project teams really need to make faster decisions in this fast-paced VUCA world that we call. And data is there, but what do we do with this data? And some of the data we call dark data that we still don't mine. So those are also things that we need to have a look at. Then on the academic side, as I've mentioned earlier, there's no cohesive body of knowledge on data science. That especially in the field of project management. And I really think that from an academic perspective, a theoretical perspective, we can really be the forefront with a special issue to really create a proper grounding and critical evaluation of data science and project management at the end of the day. But then there's also practical urgency. As Francesco alluded, we also have Crossroads that looks at the practitioner side. So your paper can also have a practitioner kind of angle to say, but what do practitioners, project management practitioners do with this big data? But I think at the end of the day, the core message that we want to bring across with the special issue is that we treat data science as a transformative force and not as a technical add-on. And we will see later on when we talk about what we don't want is we don't want technical papers. So don't tell us this is what data science is, machine learning. You can use it, but it's not about the technical side of it. So what are the aims of the special issue? It's really about the integration between data science and project management, and how does data science influence project management right from the start to the end? In traditional project management, engineering, construction, but also in a more agile IT, AI kind of space. Also looking at methodological innovation. How can we use machine learning and all of these things now as a new method to analyze data instead of normal structural equation modeling and all the fuzzy logic and all of those? Can we go the next step, especially with the big data sets that we get nowadays? But I think the important aspect is also, but where do we use it? Because the data science is like AI. It's very vaporware. We say, yes, we can use it. We can't use it. But at the end of the day, we really want to see some real applications. If you have case studies where we've applied it and really improved the project management practices, that is what we want to see. Also, how's data-driven decision-making transforming project management processes, the success criteria. Ishwe and myself are working on an article now regarding international development projects on using data science. We cannot send it to this journal, to the special issue, so it's in a normal one. But it's again, it's how do we use these big data sets to inform decision making? But then also it's making the bridge between the data scientists, who are the, let's call it, the hardcore technical people and project managers, to see how can we collaborate better together. So it's not about AI. AI, yes, I know AI is broad, but for us it's about the whole data science ecosystem in the project management. You can use AI on data. So it's really broader against that. And I think that is where the distinction is. It's on the broader data science ecosystem across the entire project life cycles. It can go beyond into the benefits realization, the value creation, things like that. And we're really looking at conceptual papers, applied papers, technical development, as well as empirical contributions. So we can really look at machine learning, natural language processing, data visualization, decision support, anything that's got to do with data science at the end of the day, or how do you present the data at the end of the day through to manage projects better at the end of the day. Andreas, is this where you kick in now?
Yes, okay, thank you. So we are somehow convinced that data and project management together has an impact, has a societal impact, has a positive impact, but comes with caution. So we all know about the problems with AI. Just you might have heard today that an AI waded into the internet and hacked other programs there. So it's not an innocent tool. And the same is true for data. And the usage of data. It's not innocent. So we are also interested in the governance and the accountability connected to using data for the better of projects and the better of society. So what are the risks? What are the concerns with that? And how can we overcome that? How can we really tackle these issues in ways of transparency, of accountability, and especially with governance structures that go beyond the pure, simple project management issues. So maybe next slide. So what then could a conceptual scope be for an article in our project? The idea behind is that we have our project data sources, and there are many out there. We do have them from unstructured data within the project, but also around the projects, wherever it comes from, that feeds into some kind of data science and analytics capability. We all have these nice things like machine learning, NLP, and so on. Everyone is using ChatGPT and Gemini and all these other issues nowadays. So even it's a lay work, it's an amateur work now. But this is again also maybe a critical point. So what about the professional use of data and data science? So is any project manager really capable of using all these powerful instruments and work to inform the project management process? And when we talk about the project management process, this is normally connected to risk management, some foresights, maybe for planning in project management. But we believe that data science can be used in more than these parts of project management. But where and which with outcomes to make better decisions, maybe to improve the governance. Carl named it: benefits realization, accountability, and so on. as an outcome. And again, I want to point out here into the limitations and the drawbacks that should frame also the positive side. So what about ethics? What about privacy problems? What about transparency issues? If you recommend to use data science in the course of project management. Now, when we look into, and we had in our call some indicative topics and indicative themes there. Where can we see your positioning? But this is not an absolute list, so you can even add more to that. But there's some points where you can attach maybe. So it's definitely it's about data-driven decision making. We believe that decision making is at the core of project management. It's all about decision making. How does it improve? How does it connect data-driven decision making in project management? Maybe about real-time data, dashboards, analytic monitoring, all these things about controlling also. But it's not only an instrumental version. I think that's important to see here. It's not a technical paper, just present us the latest dashboard or something like that. But how can it be used? What's the impact of that? Maybe what's also the problem contacted? How does it boost biases? How does it control attention? If you use certain kinds of data presentation methods. By integrating the data science methodologies, we'll talk about evaluation, benefits realization, impacts. We talk about also automation processes for scheduling, forecasting resources. Even we have AI seen in stakeholder management, in dealing with complex projects, reducing, especially in infrastructure projects, in rich data ecosystems. How can we really maneuver in there? So that would be one point in there. Another point we see is what about the changing role of project managers? We already had a discussion about AI, or does AI replace the project manager? We believe it doesn't, but it might reshape competences. It might reshape tasks there. And what about the data? What about data managers? How do they connect in there? Do we all have to be now data managers as project managers, additionally to all the other stuff we are doing? And this already talked about, this connects to project governance. So what's the use there? How could or should that be controlled? How should it be governed? With all the issues about ethics, privacy, the accountability, transparency connected here, and legal issues in the end also touch on data science. So it's about a cross-disciplinary application, and we had some papers that tackle the problems of do we understand each other? What about the languages used in data science? Are they living in a total different world, or can there be some kind of mutual influence and understanding in there, in the decision making, in the discussion, in the interpretation of the data, and especially the outcomes of the data? So, do we really know what data science people do when they analyze their data? So in the end, it's about also kind of theoretical and conceptual contributions that links these two sciences, or these two fields of research. So it's not only a practical idea here, so what can we do here, but how can we advance theoretically by integrating data science and project management, or maybe we can't integrate, but how can we live together in our daily business as project managers? So, do you want to take over, or should I go on? Oh, Carl, you're unmuted. So the
You
problem
can continue.
is okay.
You
That's
can
great.
continue.
So, coming back to what then is a strong contribution, and I think that's full in line what Francesca already said, what channel journal direction, and Carl said for our special SI. So it simply sums up no pure technical paper. It should be more than that. So it should be problem relevant. It's a real world problem or a real theoretical discussion, advanced theoretical that touches a real world phenomenon. We need theory, especially when we talk about beyond just tools. We don't want to know what tool you use and why you use it. We want to know how can others apply and profit from your experiences, from your research, with certain kind of ways of tackling data and integrating it into project management. So for that, we need theory. Absolutely, we need conceptual frameworks. We need theory to be based on the research. We already talked about good research, so transparent description, design of the research work. What are your data sources? What is your analytical approach? How do you come to your results and discussion points? So it's about the theoretical contribution, both, and a practical contribution to project studies and project practice, bringing in data science ideas, data science issues into project management, and giving answers that may last longer than maybe just one project, but inform a more than general public about project management. So it's not just about an algorithm, so it's not, and that might be a problem, especially when we talk about data scientists. They're keen at demonstrating their newest algorithm and proving that's better than the other one. We are not so much interested in these technical mathematical backgrounds. We are project managers here, and we are not data scientists. Also, some of us might have some background in mathematics or statistics or AI. But it must be applied to project management to explain, improve, especially improve, theorize project management practice, maybe also say what works and what doesn't work. So where we have expectations that goes beyond what data science can deliver. So where we are maybe blind in their restrictions. So it goes beyond just the tool work. It touches on the project management lifecycle, but it also touches on project governance and decision making, on the roles connected not only in project management but also in project governance, maybe. So it should inform us as project managers, colos, and it should form project management practitioners. And that means also in a language that can be digested by practitioners.
Okay, thanks, Andreas. I will do the last one. These are the key dates. I know in the original call for papers, the abstract submission was the end of this month. We extended by another month, and that does not mean you must wait until the 31st. You can submit your abstracts up to any point in time. The abstract itself is also not a gate or a hurdle. If you believe that you do have a paper, you can submit it. We already have a couple of papers under submission. I think at this point in time, it's about close to 9 or 10 papers under submission. In the last week, I received 3 abstracts, but the final deadline is the 31st of January. That date is fixed. We cannot move beyond that. and then we will then, based on the articles that will accept it, we will then run the special issue later in 2027. You can submit your papers on Scholar One, but just follow the journal, and especially also the author guidelines are on the website of the journal. Please make sure that you have a look at that as well. These are my fellow colleagues. You can see if met Andreas now, he was talking with me. Then we've got Ishwe. She's at the University of Leeds, and you can see she's really into machine learning. She did a PhD in this thing. And then Yin from the University of Sydney. It is very late for him now at this point in time. Also is in AI, big data, and all of these things that's associated with data science. You are welcome to contact any one of us if you do have questions. You do not have to liaise just with me. We are a team, and I tell you now, they are much more capable in answering your questions than me. They are really the brains in this team, Andreas and Ishwe and Yin. Okay, I'm the face, I'm the pretty face. They are the brains. Okay. So yeah, the last slide is about position the PM problem. What is the project management problem that you want to fix with this data science? Articulate your contribution, check the fit at the end of the day, and as Andreas said, avoid purely technical algorithm or script-focused papers. It's not about that, okay? Don't tell us you use XGBoost or something like that. Yes, you can, but don't start comparing different algorithms with each other. And then, yeah, end of January. I know it's a tough deadline because the URM papers are also due in January, so you will have to work during the holidays for that. But if you have any special queries or anything else, as I said, you can contact me or any one of the other three co-participants in this. Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? You are more than welcome to ask. I'm going to stop the sharing. There are a couple of people that joined us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you very much to the wonderful team of guest editors putting in place such interesting call. One of the main issue we had during the proposal is actually how to avoid the issue of receiving over technical paper, because big data may lead to modeling and having this type of algorithm which are really not fit for the common audience, very difficult to review, very narrow and specialized. So this is what we push a lot, during the proposal for this call for paper. To those prospective authors that are attending, please ask any question if you have any in your mind at the moment, because you have the team here ready to answer to you. One of the main things that I would rather suggest is that even though your work leads to kind of modeling, the model itself is a mean and not an end for the paper. Yeah. So the contribution should not be based on the modeling, but rather how the modeling itself leads to something new to inform practice or theory. So this is how you should think about this type of submission that are asked by the team. I don't know if any of you have got any question, or among the team, if you want to reinforce something that is important, please, the stage is yours.
Team, yes, Robert.
Yes, I trust I can be heard.
Yes.
Somebody's nodding. Whereas the journal is called Project Management in Business, I'm used to be in business internationally, but I'm now in government. But I trust government also falls under the denomination of business, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So we take both the public perspective, the business perspective, the not-for-profit perspective. So the journal is absolutely open to any perspectives, and this is something that we are reinforcing more even with the name of the journal, right? Managing project in business. What does it mean? You know, to have this practical relevance to our project management community. Sometimes we are detaching to reality. Yeah. So writing paper heavily theoretically, but then what is the relevance is what we want to emphasize. Don't forget that theory in research is always necessary, right? Because helps you to have an interpretation of your data. Yeah, from which perspective you make sense of your data, or from which perspective are you looking to an issue? Yeah, this is theory. Yeah, and then into the discussion, I want to know how you advanced practice rather than how you advance theory itself. And this is what we are moving towards the journal now, with the more having a theory to inform practice rather than developing the theory itself. And I think really reflects the managing project in business, which covers government, not-for-profit entities, and of course, business as usual. So hopefully, Robert, if you're in the government, you can take the public perspective. It's absolutely welcome in our journey. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that will quite a different angle than others, if we can get an angle from a government perspective.
Absolutely.
Any other questions, suggestions? My co-authors, they just smile at me. Yes, Agnesa.
You're on mute, Agnes.
I hope it's now.
Yeah. Nice.
Good. All right. Thank you. All right. Agnieszka Sokół-Gorgoń. I'm from Kosmiński University, Poland. And I do work in business, right? So I have like two legs, if I can say it, which I think fits very well into what you are trying to achieve. Very happy to be here and to listen to what you are trying to get from the special issue, because I think it fits very well with what I'm doing. Though I would like to ask about what you've just alluded to about co-authors, because formally I am a doctorate candidate. Should I combine with any known professors from my university? Is that what you are after, or is business experience and research experience enough?
Yeah, if you're a co-author, if you're a single author and you're comfortable with your article, then that's it. You don't have to include people from business. So the in business is just to provide the angle that we are not necessarily looking at papers in science or project management in science or medical services. That's the angle. So no, if you've got experience in business and you feel comfortable with being a single author, then you are most welcome to submit your paper.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, so this is extremely important point. Sometimes you have co-authors with you because they really contribute on the paper, or because they can really enhance through the work or feedback the paper quality. So as I said, Angelica, if you're not confident or you never published in our journal, look what our journal has published, in the last few years, so you can understand what is required, what the structure of the journal is, what kind of section must be there, what kind of level of depth is needed, and this will help you also to just take your own work by yourself. But solo authors are very common in academia, so you don't need to partner with anything if it's completely your own work. And any other question before we going to close this very interesting workshop series? Hisham or Jim, anything that you want to add as an expectation for this special issue, or type of paper that you would like to see based on your expertise?
I think Carlin has already in the presentation covered everything basically. So
from my part, actually, I'm really looking forward to the papers. Just as Francisco first said that you can take the AI or data science techniques broadly, like machine learning or reinforcement learning, any methods, but they are just the main, they are not the outcome. So we really do hope that you can use those advanced tools, but finally, actually, they can generate some really outcome that can advance the knowledge body of project management. So this is something that I'm really looking forward.
Perfect. So some of the rejection, as I said, in our journal comes from not being fit. Make sure that your paper is fit for the special issue. Being over technical, make sure that your technicality is simplified and it's just a mean and not the end of the article. And building on the wrong literature. So having a paper submitted in project management, having no project management literature on it. Yeah. If you submit a paper in project management, I expecting that you engage on project management literature. And sometimes I reject paper because there are no project management journal cited at all. Yeah. So I say, well, you're then talking to the wrong audience. Yeah. So make sure that these basic mistakes are avoided. Yeah. Because they are the first thing that we saw as a reviewers, as an editor, in order to put the paper in under review or not. So building on the right literature, make sure that it's fit for the journal and for the special issue, not being over technical. The technicality should be simplified, that everyone can understand it. It's just a mean to lead to some result and interpretation that advance science. Yeah, this is what we are looking for. I believe that now we reached the end of this very interesting session. Thanks again, Carl, Andreas, Hisham, and Jean, for being here and for leading this very interesting work. Thanks for the prospective authors for attending, and we look forward to many submissions from your side and from the project management community and beyond that. Thanks again. Have a lovely day and speak soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much. Have a nice one.
Enjoy your day.
goodbye.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Andrea.